Hey guys, it's me Dory. It is time to start my YouTube channel back up. This time I'm going to be dedicating my channel to manga, since as you can probably see off to the right here, I have quite a big collection, but I will show that off in a different video. For today, I want to focus specifically on my Magical Girl collection, and in the future I would like this channel to focus on just literally anything about manga in general, but to start, I'm going to show off facets of my collection that are most important to me. So let's just go ahead and get started here. So this is the top of the actual Magical Girl shelf, just a couple figures. I don't have room, unfortunately, for the figures by themselves. Most of my figures are going to be on the top of all of my manga shelves, with a couple room on the shelves that I could fit them because most of my manga is double stacked currently. Here we've got the Puella Magi shelf, which has every release up to date currently in English. Magia Record and Another Story are technically still being currently released, but Yen Press has been a little slow to release Magia Record. Not really sure why. They're like 2 years behind, so I don't really know what's up with that, but I will definitely do a dedicated video specifically on Puella Magi, as it's just one of my favorite franchises just in general. If you see that Sayaka is missing, I will get to that momentarily. This shelf has my Sailor Moon Kodansha volumes, along with Sailor V and short stories. This is just various things that I couldn't fit on a different shelf. We've got some anime over here. Most of these I have not seen yet. Wonder Egg Priority, the Puella Magi series, and Magical Girl Raising Project I have seen. The rest are on my to-watch list eventually. And then we've got plenty of Sailor Moon trinkets here. Also got most of my Magical Girl art books, mainly Puella Magi. But I also have the latest Sailor Moon art book hidden in here. Some musical pamphlets, Pita 10, and Shugo Chara. I will definitely show off art books in the future in a dedicated video because I also have plenty of those. Then we've got the smaller middle shelf here. As you can see, I'm definitely a big fan of Sailor Saturn. Here are some of the bigger books that don't fit anywhere else. I've got Magical Girl, Raising Project, the novels. The 1 through 6 you see here are the ones that I have read. The rest are piled up on my to-be-read, my very large to-be-read list, but I do definitely enjoy the series so far. Then we've got Magical Girl Retires, which is I believe it was a Korean novel. I just kind of bought that on impulse. I did read it. It was pretty short, but in future videos, I will definitely go more into depth about Magical Girl series and the series that I have read. So for today, I'm just going to go over what's in my collection. We've got the Demon Girl Next Door, which I'm a little behind on. We have Fate Khalid Liner Prisma Ilya. I probably butchered that. I have not read the original Fate series, but this is Magical Girl, so I couldn't miss out on that. Got Kill la Kill. Is that a Magical Girl series? And the manga itself is definitely not on par with the anime because these are the only 3 volumes. It just very cuts off super short, but for now, that's just on the shelf. Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant are arch enemies. Magical Girl Incident. Magia Lumiere, which I am a bit behind on, but I do enjoy the series very much so far. More about adult Magical Girls. My code name is Charmer. Not sure if this one's considered Magical Girl. I bought this one kind of on a whim. Haven't read it, so I don't really know, but unfortunately, there's only 2 volumes in English out of 4, so it may take a while before I actually dive into this one and really determine if it's Magical Girl or not. Revolutionary Girl Utena After the Revolution, which is a single paperback. The other Utena volumes I will get to in a moment. And then Cutie Honey, which would be probably considered a prototype Magical Girl. Kinda was the start of Magical Girl transformations before Sailor Moon kind of solidified it, but it is definitely part of that category, I would say, for sure. We've got this shelf here, which is volumes that could fit perfectly on the shelves. The ones in front here, we have Alice 19th, Magical Girl Raising Project, which unfortunately only has 2 volumes of the series, so it's very rushed, so if you're interested in the series, much darker take on the Magical Girl genre, read the novels or watch the anime, because they go way more in depth than the manga does. Prey Tear, which is an amazing series. I have not seen the anime, but I read the manga when I was younger and I absolutely loved it. One of my favorites. Shugo Chara, which is getting a updated 20th anniversary reprint and is getting the sequel series releasing later this year, so I'm pretty excited about that. Sugar Sugar Rune, which is one of my holy grails. I'm missing 2 volumes, but the Del Rey versions are very, very hard to get. Udon has announced that they plan on releasing their special editions that they licensed back in, I believe, 2017 sometime this year. There has been no release date so far, so hopefully they will keep up on that because I will definitely double dip for this. Even though it's a series I haven't read, it's been on the very top of my to-read list for quite some time. But yeah, these volumes alone are very, very pricey. Zodiac PI, is it considered a magical girl series? Another one that's kind of skirts the line, but I do really enjoy this one a lot. I enjoy a lot of Natsumi Ando series. Then, behind on the shelves here, we have Dream Saga, which is the first of 3 of Megumi Tachikawa's English releases, all to be considered supposedly magical girl series. Got Kami-chama Karin and Kami-chama Karin Chu here. I have actually not read these. These are next on my to-be-read list. I read another of Koge Dombo's more popular series, P to 10, pretty recently. I really enjoy their cutesy art style. P to 10 did dip into darker categories, so will Kami-chama Karin get there? Not sure. I guess I will wait to find out. Down here, we've got Little Witch Academia. This one, I think, also skirts the line, but it can also be considered a part of the cute witch category, which is a category in magical girls, actually probably one of the first main magical girl categories. This one, I actually have not watched the anime. The manga's pretty short, but it was rather enjoyable. And then we have this Magic Knight Rayearth. I believe it's an art book. They came from one of the original Tokyo Pop box sets that I was able to buy separately. I haven't actually flipped through it. It's just kind of sitting there for now. Then we've got Mamote Lollipop here, which I just finished reading pretty recently. I don't know if this one's really a magical girl series. There is magic involved, but the main character doesn't even reveal magical powers till the very, very end. And I don't know. I definitely did not really care for this one. This was definitely more of the for kids category, more so than anything else. I would have definitely enjoyed this more as a kid, as I did with some of these series that are on the shelf, but reading it as an adult, I did not care for it very much. But is it really a magical girl series? Not really sure on that one. We've got Mink here, the next Megumi Tachikawa series. This is one I actually read the first volume of when I was in middle school, and I just absolutely adored the art. This was when I was getting into my, okay, shoujo's my favorite because I love the art era. This one is a part of the magical girl idol genre, and it was alright. Then at the bottom here, we've got Peachy Peachy Pitch, another part of the idol genre, I guess. This one was alright. I can't remember if the anime came out or the manga came out first. Supposedly the anime is better because it dives more in depth into the series, but it was alright. P to 10, another one. Is it a magical girl series? I wouldn't say so, but not really sure. It was okay though. It was my first Koge Dombo full series read, and I mainly got into her series because I loved her art, but it was actually more of a touching story than I was expecting, so. We've got Tokyo Mew Mew and Tokyo Mew Mew a la mode here, which is more into the traditional magical girls. I read these when I was younger. I remember enjoying a la mode a little bit more, even though it was only 2 volumes, mainly because I like that main character more than Ichigo. But yeah, these are just your typical shoujo-esque classical magical girl series. And then down here, we've got Ultramaniac, which is another one that's in the cute witch genre. I really adore the series very much. And then Yuri Bearstorm here, or Yuri Kuma Arashi. Don't really care for the English name, it is very interesting, but supposedly the manga is way different than the anime, and I honestly don't even really remember reading the manga. I read it not too long ago, but I don't think I cared for it too much, so I guess eventually I'll have to check out the anime to see just literally how different it is. Alright, then I've got the bottom shelf here, which has books that just fit kind of awkwardly on the shelf, so this is where they ended up going. So this is Saint Tail here. This is probably Megumi Tachikawa's most well-known series. Unfortunately, these are the only volumes I have, and it has not gotten any kind of English reprint, so finding these volumes is a little bit rough, but eventually I would definitely like to read this one. This one's pretty high on my list. Then I've got the Revolutionary Girl Utena box set. I actually bought this, like, literally right before it went out of print for a period of time, and then eventually they did announce that they were going to do a reprint for it, so if you're interested in this, I would definitely get it pretty quickly before it goes potentially out of print again. I believe the manga and the anime were kind of made together, so I believe that the anime is pretty different from the manga. I have actually not finished the anime. I've gotten pretty far, but I need to do a rewatch. But this is another one of those skirts the line magical girl question mark. I would definitely consider this one, and I just love the series in general. I just love Utena. She's an amazing main character. Alright, then we've got Cosmo Familia here, which is done by Hano Kage, the author of the Puella Magi manga series. I don't really remember reading this one too much. It was okay. I do love her art though, so I was going to pick it up regardless. That's all I've really got to say about that one because I don't remember it too much. Then we've got quite a controversial one, Magical Girl Sight. I have read both Apocalypse and Sight. This series is definitely very edgy. I did enjoy reading it in the beginning, but as the series went on, it kind of lost me a bit. Surprise 7 Seas never released Magical Girl September, which is only 2 volumes, but it kind of leads into characters that show up later in the story, so that was a little strange, but yeah, it is what it is. Then we've got another kind of dark Magical Girl series here, this one more military focused. This one was okay. The twist was kind of meh, and some of the characters are just whatever, but I did enjoy this one, definitely a lot more than Sight. Goodness. Then we've got Corrector Yui here. I don't remember enjoying this very much. Just another Magical Girl series. We've got Miracle Girls here. I think this one skirts the line of is it a magical girl or not. I haven't read this one yet. Not looking forward to reading it because apparently not only was this version flipped, but it also changes the name, so they have very westernized names. So that one's going to be hard to sit through. We've got Magical Angel Creamy Mommy and the Spoiled Princess. Unfortunately, this release is very strange because there is no English release for the original manga, which actually is a version that came out after the original anime. Does Creamy Mommy have an official English anime release? I actually don't know, but that would be the best way to indulge in the series. For the sequel series, it's okay for what it is. I guess it's not really too much a sequel, actually, as it follows the main initial antagonist of the series, but it definitely, like, humanizes her quite a bit. I don't have too much else to say about that because I haven't seen the original series, but I did really like this one a lot. Then we've got Princess Knight. This one is definitely also considered a prototype for sure, but I would definitely say, in terms of magical girls, this is an interesting type of magical girl. Definitely adore the series. Can't go wrong with Osamu Tezuka, even though this was actually one of his first original series he came out with. I guess there's 2 different versions of Princess Knight, and this was the later one that was released. But yeah, can't really go wrong with this one for sure. Then I've got some of the Sailor Moon Tokyo Pop mixed versions. These aren't childhood versions or anything. I picked these up pretty recently, but I would definitely like to have a full release of these someday. I've got the Magic Knight Rare first box set. I got this one mainly because I got it as a deal for $45, which can't beat that considering how expensive these are. Unfortunately, I don't have the second one. I have read the first series quite some time ago. I never got around to reading the second one, so hopefully I will be able to get the second box set eventually in the future, and I am definitely looking forward to the new anime that is going to be coming out, I believe this year sometime. I don't think they have a established release date, but then we've got the Sailor Moon Eternal editions, and these right here are actually the reason I have not finished reading Sailor Moon, even though I have a complete 2011 Kodansha releases, because the Eternal editions are definitely the best way to read this series, and even though I only have the first 4, I will definitely wait until I get the rest of these to read the rest of the series, because it's literally like the definitive way to read Sailor Moon if you ask me. So, this is it for the Magical Girl shelf, and if you've been paying close attention, you probably noticed something was missing here. And that is because Cardcaptor Sakura takes up this part of this shelf right here. I originally had it on the Magical Girl shelf, but obviously ran out of room, and it kind of deserves its own shrine. It is definitely probably my #1 series alongside Detective Conan. It's also the first series that I picked up back in 2004 with this volume right here. And I just kind of went a little crazy on collecting, but this is one of the highlights of my collection right here, which I will do a dedicated video of eventually sometime in the future. This is where all my Sayaka figures are. This is my Sayaka shrine. Yes, I wish it was bigger, but that's something for future me to worry about. Then there are also a couple Magical Girl series that were not included in either of these shelves, and that's because that is a part of my Arina Tanimura shelf here. So this bookshelf in particular literally has probably most of my prized possessions, and Arina Tanimura gets her own shelf. So a lot of her series are considered Magical Girl series. So that would be Ion, which is a little iffy of a category. Kamikaze Kaito Jean, which I'm missing some of the CMX versions. Probably the most definitive Magical Girl series that she's done. Time Stranger Kyoko, which is also probably more the definitive Magical Girl series, even though unfortunately it was cut quite short. Full Moon, probably the series initially in English that she is most well known for, part of the magical girl idol genre. Mistress Fortune, which I think could be considered a magical girl series, I suppose. Sakura Hime, I don't really know too much about this one. It seems more like a magical girl series, but I actually haven't read this one. This is the only one in English that I haven't read, but that is definitely high on my to-read list. And then we have Idol Dreams here, which this series is definitely something. I don't really know too much about what to say about it. It is also a part of the supposedly magical girl idol series. It's been a very slow process. Is Arina Tanemura ever going to finish the series? Who knows? Don't really know what else to say about it. And then over here we have a couple of her other magical girl series art books. I have Kamikaze Kaitojin, I have Full Moon, and then I have a couple doujins that she has actually done. But that'll be something else that I will explore at a later time. Okay, and that is all for now. My editing is probably going to be as bare bones as possible because I actually don't know too much about editing. When I uploaded videos previously, I kind of did them in one take, but I would definitely like to learn editing and such in the future. Right now, I don't have a very good computer, so everything's going to have to be done on my phone, so I hope you forgive me. But if you enjoy manga or magical girls, that will definitely be pretty much my main content going forward. I will focus on my collection and obviously things that I have read, but I've been collecting for over 20 years, so I know quite a bit about most genres, most demographics. So if you are interested in that, look forward to that. And like I said, I will also focus on magical girl content as well. I haven't seen too many anime, but I will definitely brush up on that in the future. So yeah, that's about it for now. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Not really too sure what else to say in these outros, so sorry for it being kind of off the cuff. But if you're interested in any more facets of my collection, let me know. And look forward to more videos in the future if you decide to stick around. Alright, and that'll be it for me. So, see you guys later. Bye.